2015. I had sinus infections, fluid in my ears, a temperature, a headache for weeks, and I went to two family doctors, and they put me on Augmentin once and prednisone once, and then they said go to an ENT. They put tubes in my ears because of the fluid, one right in the office, one on one, and then 2 weeks later I went back because it was closed up, and they put one in the other ear. Then I couldn't get rid of my headache. I started a new job. I was trying to work every day, and I was like, I can't do this. And I actually ended up throwing up blood or coughing up blood. And so we drove to the ER, and I said, well, fix me up. I gotta get out of here. And they came in, and first of all, they asked my husband if we had a DNR. And I was like, he said, I'll go home and get it. I'm like, what? And then my sister came, and then we were like, okay, this is fine. And the hospitalist there, which I think had seen a vasculitis case like the week before.
Oh, wow.
So they did all the tests. I had a kidney biopsy. I had a bronchoscopy, which was grossly bloody on the report. And so my kidneys weren't working. My lungs were full of blood, and my oxygen was like 80 something. So they said, well, you're not going anywhere, and you can go right up to the ICU. So I went up there, and I think I remember most everything, because I was sick, but I mean, I remember people coming in and out, but I also had plasmapheresis 6 times. I was in the ICU 12 days, and I had dialysis 3 times a week for 3 months, and my kidneys actually came back.
Oh.
So I'm one of those miracle ones that didn't have to get a kidney transplant. But so.
And what form do you have?
I have GPA too.
GPA. Okay.
So.
And it seems like you caught it so quickly.
Well, because I had my CBC count, or your labs that you do when you go to the doctor, and they're like, my creatinine or my kidney function was like 1.1, which isn't bad, but then when I went to the ER, it was 7 or 8, which
Sure.
means they weren't working at all.
Wow.
So it was 1 week, I was typically, something was wrong until kind of the crash and burn thing.
Yeah.
But I remember, I remember everything, and but when you're in the situation, when you've never heard of it, you don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. I didn't Google it till like 3 months later, and I thought, wow, that was really bad. Now my family's just happy around me. Nothing was going on. So
yeah.
They did want to put me on a ventilator too, but since I had so many things wrong, I was just saying, what? If I do that, I don't want to do that. So all the prednisone, the Cetoxin, the 10 other things, and I had AFib too, so that came up, but that went away. So
wow.
So yeah. Now I'm healthy. I had 8 Rituxans in 1 year. I had 4. I was diagnosed in September. In October, I had 1 every week, and then they waited 4 months, and then I had 2, and then they waited 4 months, and I had 2, and now I'm actually on no maintenance drugs right
And
now.
in remission.
Mm-hmm. Like all of them, I've done the therapy too, mm-hmm. Because when you come out of it, you're like, what happened? I can't even, decipher what went on. So then I was right away signed up for that too. Went like 6 sessions, and that really helped. As far as now, I did a lot of holistic type things. I go to the chiropractor. I do craniosacral. I do all sorts of massage therapy. I did yoga, meditation, all those things too, and medical treatment to get healthier and to figure out what I'm going to do. But I was older than these guys. I was 52 when I was diagnosed, and now it's been 8 years. I just turned 60.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It's lovely. I decided, after that life-changing event, I was working a job that was, I was in education, like paraprofessional for special ed, and work in a hospital environment trying to get adults with special needs to work in the hospital and learn other jobs and go out and get jobs. But I never got to finish that because I was sick. And then when I got better, I mean, I couldn't walk. I had a walker. I had, it was bad I had a babysitter for like 3 months that had to come into the house because I couldn't function when my husband was at work. But I have 3 grandchildren, so my job now is to take care of myself and help my family.
I love that.
I don't work.
And be here for them.
And do yoga and do whatever.
Yes.
And I'm lucky that I can do that because my husband has always supported our family.
Yeah.
And I was home with our children when they were little, and then I worked when they were bigger. But I'm lucky that I can do that. But my main job is taking care of my health and my family.
Yeah, that's a big
That's
job.
what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing I did with the help of BHVC, I met Terry in Chicago at a symposium, and then she connected me with John, another person with vasculitis, and I had been talking about starting a support group, and so had John. So John and I got together and we started the River Valley Vasculitis Support Group. And that has been going for over 3 years. We started in person and moved to Zoom. But that's really helped me and a lot of other people because it's like, can I just talk to somebody that has the same issues?
Understands what you're
Right.
going through. Yeah.
Right. And so that's a monthly meeting, so that's great.
Yeah, that is great. Great, thank you for sharing.
Mhm.